All right, everyone, thank you for your patience. T. Wood will be joining us here in a few moments. Tonight's attendance, 10,240 for a live gate of 1.07 million. $50,000 bonuses tonight, Fight of the Night, Rose and Karolina. And our performances, Woodley and Ellenberger. Go ahead and get started with the first question. Is that you, Mr. Morgan?
Start with Mr. Ellenberger. Obviously, congratulations on that. Just huge win for you, obviously. Can you talk about the emotions that you felt post-fight and what this really means to be back in the winning column?
All right. You don't forget the feelings after fights that don't go well. You lose, and that really sat with me in preparation too. So that really kind of set the tone, leading up to this fight. And my coaches have a lot of confidence in me, and the training just I guess I put more of my heart and soul in preparation, and paid off.
You talked openly about the fact that you had to get past the overthinking and just get in there and do it and be aggressive and be kind of the old version of you. It certainly seemed like you did that tonight. Do you feel like that's something you've cleared? Is this something you're going to have to continue to battle, or do you feel like you've cleared that hurdle and it's opening new doors for you?
It's one of those things I'm going to have to consistently work on. It's not like a one thing and it's over. It's kind of resetting a new me, a new version of me, and it's really just done in preparation. I mean, there should be by the time fight night comes, there's no thinking. It's action reaction, and we're I just got to thank my coaches for that. Everybody at the gym in Kings, they're pushing me to a new level, and it really showed.
Not as tall as Dana.
Dave, I was going to actually ask you, in the cage, Joe Rogan kind of made it sound like Karolina is definitely next for Joanna. It seemed like we had talked about that as a possibility, but can you tell us behind the scenes, is that official? Is that done? Is it clear? What can you share with us?
So it's a very, very strong possibility. We'll get back together on Tuesday like we do after every big fight, but it makes a lot of sense. And Dana just did an interview on Fox with Megan O'Leary and said that's the type of fight you'd want to do in somewhere like Poland. So our options are pretty wide open right now, but that's the fight to make. That looking on social media, a lot of fans excited about that. And looks like Karolina wants to say something too.
I won't fight with Joanna. I am ready for her. She said that I'm not or her level. I think I am good enough to fight with her. I won't fight with her. Let's do this. Polish power versus Polish power.
How's that for seizing the moment?
Hey, Karolina, I did want to kind of follow up with you. You said that you're worthy.
Please, slowly. My English is not perfect.
No worries. I did want to ask you, if that is the fight that's made, what do you think it is that you have that you can beat Joanna that she hasn't seen yet?
Joanna is very good fighter. I respect her very much. She is the best on the world. Maybe I'm not the best, but I can beat the best.
Thank you. And then just quickly, if I could, for Robbie, obviously certainly a disappointing moment for you right now. How do you feel about your performance? I mean, it was just one mistake, obviously, but how do you feel about it overall?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I feel all right. I mean, obviously, he caught me with the old T-Wood bomb, and I was just sitting back a little too much, and he took advantage of it. It was his night.
And what do you think should come next for you? I mean, do you feel like it should be an opportunity for a rematch? Do you feel like you have to work your way back? What do you think?
They'll kind of decide that, but I'm going to sit back, spend some time with my family, and figure out what I'm doing next. But I'm sure Dana will decide on what's next.
Question for Jake. The kick was a phenomenal highlight for you. Is that the position that you were in when you landed that kick? Was that a place that you felt comfortable in the fight, or was that actually like a bad scenario and then just a great result where you threw a kick off the fence?
No, actually, we trained that kick quite a bit. With a good friend of mine, Giga, and Master Rafael, everyone at Kings, we trained this kick specifically from southpaw for quite a while, but that was planned.
And then for Rob, can you go in a little bit more into the detail of just what was the game plan coming in? You mentioned right off the bat that you weren't aggressive enough, and you had a real fast opponent. Did you just feel like maybe you stood in front of him a little bit too much?
I don't know if I sat in front of him a little too much, but I think maybe right at the end he feinted, and I reached with my freaking hands, and he threw a punch over top, and he took advantage of an opportunity, and he did a great job.
And just something I wanted to give you an opportunity to speak on, because it just seems like right now a lot of the speculation that surrounds you is how much have these wars, taken out of you, and then now you've suffered a loss. It's your first loss in a while, but that's going to be more speculation. People are going to say, well, did those catch up to him? Do you see that as any kind of a factor, whether it was in camp or tonight, just some kind of something that lasted on past those fights?
No, I think it's just a guy who took advantage of a big punch and rocked me and jumped on and finished the job. I mean, I'm not going to speculate, and I felt great going into the fight, so no excuses.
Well, thanks.
Questions, guys? Ariel?
A question for Nikita. Congratulations on the win. Other than the top 4 guys in the division, if we include John Jones, there's obviously Anthony Johnson and Glover Teixeira fighting next month. There seems to be not a lot of young, up-and-coming talent in your division. How far away do you think you are from being involved in that discussion?
Кроме того,
You're good.
кроме топ-4 бойцов в твоем дивизионе, нету молодых бойцов, которые чем-то были хороши, чтобы попасть туда. Что ты думаешь будет следующим для тебя? И как ты себя видишь в будущем?
Очень сложно сказать. То есть я предпочитаю оставлять свою карьеру оставлять ее в руках матчмейкеров UFC, поэтому я учусь, я двигаюсь вперед. Если следующий мой соперник будет из топ-10, я буду рад. Если он будет из топ-15, это меня тоже особо не потревожит. Моя задача драться, выигрывать, и в любом случае я рано или поздно приду к своей цели.
Well, basically, I don't care. I would wish to fight opponent from top 10, but if it's from top 15, I won't be sad about it. But what I need to really to do is win whatever comes next, and UFC matchmaker is gonna think what is the best for my career.
Okay. Question for Karolina. Hello. Congratulations. In the first round, you weren't very active. It seemed like you were trying to sort of figure her out and see how the fight was going to go. Can you speak on that? Is that what was happening? I mean, I think most people had her winning the first and you clearly winning the second and third, but what were you seeing in the first round that led to you doing so well in the second and third?
I just start fighting. I need time to, I don't know how to say. Sometimes I need a little bit time to fight.
Okay. And then I just had 2 other ones. One for Robbie. Was it, in hindsight, I know you didn't make much of it beforehand, but was it at all weird fighting someone who you were somewhat friendly with?
No, not at all. I'm a mean individual, and this is what I do for a living, so I would have had no problem doing the same to him.
Okay. And just for Jake as well, you've had big fights, but considering the circumstances, would you say this is the greatest moment of your career, just given everything you've been through over the last couple of years?
It's definitely up there. I would say it's one of the best ones. But I would say it's also been the most, as far as preparation goes, it's been the most put in for a fight too. So, I can't thank my guys enough. I've been working with Nick Curson at Speed of Sport and Javier Cordero, everybody at Kings. Just the preparation, like I said, my coaches believe in me, and Daryl Christian too with the wrestling, and so it's like I said, preparation was everything, and so it's up there for sure though. To answer your question.
All right, guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to let this group go. You have one more here? Okay, go ahead.
Question for Karolina, right here. I saw you Thursday. Let me ask you, right now you're 10-0. You're undefeated. Why would Joanna say that you're not on her level when you're undefeated? You've beaten everybody. Is this she has some kind of problem with you?
I don't know why. I think she's scared, just like that. Yeah.
Got you. And Robbie, I have one for you, man. When you saw Tyron come at you and you say you dropped your hands, Was there any thought to maybe keeping him up? Because you know he's coming at you with the right hand. I mean, would you
Well,
think like
first
maybe,
of all, he threw a jab.
Uh-huh.
And when you throw a jab, I went to parry the jab, and then he went over the top. I mean, obviously, in hindsight, that would be something that you'd want to do. Maybe I would want to circle over to the other way and then,
Right.
or be further away too, and then maybe he wouldn't have been able to touch me with his right hand, or I could have. There's a whole bunch of stuff I could have done and didn't.
Right, I got you. And no disrespect to you on that, you know, I didn't mean that. I just wanted to see if you had thought to do that.
I
ahead,
didn't
George.
think to do that.
Jake, can you talk a little bit about how this fight came to be? How did you have to talk to Dana? How did this come about? What did you have to do in order to get this fight?
Well, it's, you know, I've had a lot of tough fights. You know, and also I've had a lot of adversity as well. So I think, you know, when they came to me with the Brown fight, I knew it was going to be a tough fight, and he's one of the toughest guys by far in the UFC. I mean, durable. So like I said, everything was had to be spot on in preparation. So, you know, from sparring to our warm up, you know, everything had to be. There's no room for error. So, you know, it paid off tonight.
All right, we're still a few minutes away on T. Wood, so what we're going to do is let these folks go, and then we'll restart the press conference with T. Wood in a few. Thank you, guys. Champ, go ahead.
Mr. Lawler, I have a question. Do you think you deserve? Thank you. Yes, Robbie, do you think you deserve a rematch, being that you defended your title so many times?
Obviously, I think if I went back in there, I'd get a win. Deserve and actually getting are two different things, but yeah, I feel like I deserve something, and but we'll see if I get it.
All right, guys. Thank you.